Hello everyone, I'm Amy Rich. I'm a demonstrator in southern Minnesota, and I've been a demonstrator for 19 years, and I've been happy the whole 19 years. I love it. I want to first thank everybody who's organizing this event. Even though we can't be in person, I think it's really cool that we are here virtually and we're actually able to share with more people than we would have in person. So that's kind of a cool thing. I also want to thank my team. Because of you, I have promoted to gold this year, and I'm super, super grateful for the Not So Average Stampers. I love you. Mwah. I'm a teacher by trade, and staying home with my kids was a decision that I happily made, and I knew I wasn't going to be a teacher in the classroom, but I knew teaching stamping was going to be for me. So I'm a teacher of stamping, and I think the statement of the heart is just perfectly said: to love what we do and share what we love. I think that's really how I feel about what I do. I knew I needed a change in my business. I knew something needed to happen, but I just wasn't in a place where I wanted to go through the effort to make it happen. So when this all started, I didn't hesitate. And I think that was an important piece. I went for it. So Stampin' Up! Had this get together, and I can't remember what it was for, but they used Zoom as their platform. And when I got on there and I started talking to other demonstrators, and one demonstrator said, I do all my classes on Zoom, I thought, I think I need to make a change, and I need to make it now. So basically I made an announcement before I even started to plan. And one of the things I did was a little thing I call Stamp Together Saturday. So back in April, I started this 10 a.m. Saturday morning, 10 to 15 minute event where earlier in the week, I would post what everybody should cut and prepare. And I wanted to encourage people who, even if they didn't have Stampin' Up! Supplies, all I wanted to do was bring people together and stamp together and give people a purpose during this time when we were stuck at home and it was very sad and hard. So I didn't want to give any sales pitches. I just wanted to stamp with people. And so that became this big thing that a large number of people didn't want to miss. So today I'm going to just share with you how I did that. And I'm also going to talk just a little bit about my Zoom classes, because that has been super successful too. So I know you don't want to hear me just talk all day, so I'm going to share some projects with you and also share a few tips along the way. I have the pleasure of sharing with you today the Plaid Tidings Suite on page 57 of the August to December mini catalog. Plaid Tidings is a suite with just 4 items in it, which makes it pretty affordable for people and a great price point at $65.25 for all 4 products. I do want to make note of one thing. This color swatch section here is really not complete. There are only 7 listed. You'll get a more complete list of colors underneath the description of the paper. So the bundle consists of the Celebration Tidings stamp set, which I love because it covers all kinds of holidays, and also just for you. And then also the dies. So you can get the bundle, but why wouldn't you get the paper, right? The paper's so pretty. I'm a plaid and striped girl all the way. And so I am loving this paper. These are, I don't think this is all of them because I've been using them so much. But they're so fun and different colors. And like I said, for all occasions in one pack of paper is kind of fun too. If you're going to get the bundle and the paper, you may as well get the whole suite and just get that ribbon too, because the ribbon is really pretty. It's easy to work with. It's very soft. And, you know, why not have the whole suite? When I share dies, I also like to cut them out and put them on black cardstock so that they really pop and you can see exactly what's in the set of dies. I showed here also that these little guys can go in the corners of your dies. So you can see that there. And then I also like to show the negative image of these because those are stitched as well. So I think it's important for them to see that not only are the dies stitched, but the negative image stitches as well. So you can use that. And I did use that on a project or two later on. So I told you that one of my big things, big ways to connect with people and make a difference in people's lives during COVID has been to do Stamp Together Saturday. So I'm showing you the graphic here of what I share with everybody before the event happens on Saturday morning so that they can cut their paper and their ribbon and have all of the supplies ready that they want. Now I try to assume that they only have the basic supplies. So I don't do anything with punches or dies or anything like that. I try to keep it really simple. So for this one, you can see that I had them cut 4¼ by 11 cardstock. And then I also do show them on camera where to score. And I've taught them over the weeks that you don't have to have a scoring tool to do the scoring. But in a card like this, you know, it's not folded in half or anything. So it makes it a lot easier if you have a way to score. I just share what I'm using and talk them through making the project. And, you know, I'll do one thing at a time and then I'll pause because I know that there are some people who do their project right along with me. There are others, of course, who that bothers them because they really like to have an idea of what they're making before they put it together. So, but I do go slower so that they can see the process and be able to stamp right along with me. And then I usually, when I'm doing this, I usually include the white for the inside on mine, especially if I'm using the dark cardstock. But, you know, I don't know what colors of cardstock they're using, so I just come prepared to share all of those steps with them. All right, then the next part, you know, I would show them we're going to layer these rectangles together. And, you know, I'll tell them what colors I'm using. I'm using basic black and pumpkin pie. And I will also tell them about the paper I'm using. Almost every Stamp Together Saturday card we make uses a designer series paper. And then, you know, if they have scrapbook paper or whatever it might be at home, I don't ever assume that everybody watching has Stampin' Up! Product. And I have found that they love what I'm sharing. And like I said, no sales pitch or anything. Most of the time, we have just the sentiment on our cards because that's easy to provide by everybody. But in this case, I said sentiment and pictures to fill in this space. Nope, I want it this way. So I say, you know, stamps to fill in this 1 7/8 by 3 1/8 inch piece of whisper white. So, you know, I get kind of specific and they come prepared or they watch first and go from there. So now for this one, I'm going to add the spider and then the happy haunting from our stamp set. And I'll share, here's the stamp set I'm using because a lot of times they are my customers who are watching also and they want to know what I'm using. And then I tell them they can have dimensionals or pop dots to complete the project. I use them a lot actually on Stamp Together Saturday. One other thing I do when I'm live on Facebook is I call it What's Up Stampers, and that's on Wednesday afternoons. And when I stamp for them there, it's just me stamping, and I can show them a little more detailed things. So I told them for this one to have a piece of ribbon, and then I told them to have adhesive to adhere it to their project. And I, of course, will use the glue dots when I do that. But this is something, I'm really raw when I do it. I don't dress up. I did it camping last week even. I don't dress up. I don't have dual cameras. I just flip the camera in front of them, and that's that. You know, I mean, it's really, I'm just being myself. And then once I get the card done, then I'll say, here was my inspiration. So I know one of you in this group made this card, and sadly I've lost whoever it was. So speak up in the comments below if this is your card. But I show them, here's my inspiration, and then see how this person used dies and, you know, coordinating embossing folder. You know, I just point that out so that I can say, you know, you can really dress this up if you want to in different ways. So that's Stamped Together Saturday. Now, Zoom is my other big platform. And one thing I do on Zoom, and I know this isn't my suite, but one thing I do on Zoom is I share One Sheet Wonder. And so whoever signs up for the class, pays for the class, can get the link to the Zoom meeting. This is our last One Sheet Wonder that we did. I borrowed the layouts from Jackie Bullheis, and we made those projects. And what you have to remember when you do projects with people at home is that you can't provide any stamped sentiments or stamped images either. So I tell them, you have the sentiments and I have the rest. So you can see that these projects have the embossing, they have dies, but I do all of that in advance and then send them what they need. We do the projects together on Zoom, and I record it and put it on YouTube for those who can't make it. And it works out really great, and I've had a huge response to that. So that's really been changing my business in a positive way. Here are some other samples from my suite. And I'm just sharing with you, I'm using just a few other products outside of the suite, and then of course the cardstocks as well. Here are a couple swaps I just got from Stamp Share for Leaders members. This is Becky Edson. Super cute. Thank you for sharing. And this was Kim Vogel. Thank you, Kim, for the beautiful card. Then here are a couple more. I just played with layout a little bit and used blends to color that. And of course the ribbon. This one, I used the dies to make a fun Z-fold card. You fold your card and then you cut the die on the fold so that it stays together. And then I folded that part back and added some fun Plaid Tidings paper and the fall stamp sets. Now I just wanted to share with you a couple of projects that I could do at a class because it only is a sentiment. Now, even though I'm using a sentiment that is brand new, they can use whatever they want because this is a class they're doing at home. So I'll always tell them, here's where my sentiment comes from. And, you know, here's how I cut those, which was, of course, the banners Pick-a-Punch. So I share all of that with them, even though they can't use the product, they know what I'm using. Here's another one that would work for one of the classes, and I would color the pearls with cherry cobbler blends beforehand. And this would make a great class at home because all they need is a sentiment. I made this one using strips. And then all they need is the sentiment for this. So I would send them the strips and the die and the linen thread and the cardstock. And we would put that together and they would add their own sentiment here in whatever color they have. I always say black works, but here are the colors that match the papers so that if they have them, they can match. This last project I want to show you is kind of fun, and I'll be doing a how-to video on that very soon. But I used some of our clear envelopes to create a little album, and I haven't decided on a title yet, so I haven't added my title. And then I colored the ribbon in with blends, and it just makes a really fun album. And what a cool cover this is with the bright plaids from the Plaid Tidings paper. And then the envelopes fit 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards, right? So all I did was trim off a 1/2 inch from each picture to go inside those envelopes. And that's my daughter, who's now a junior. Oh my gosh. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Plaid Tidings Suite. I hope you've enjoyed my projects and just a little bit about what I'm doing for classes. And I also just want to say I will be posting more samples, so watch for those coming up. I'm not sure how we're doing it, either in the comments or in a separate post. So thanks again for letting me into your homes today by pressing play. It's been a lot of fun. Enjoy your day. This is a great event.